Okay, I got it. So I'm just going to remind everyone who's seen this video at a later time, and I will go back and I will just kind of briefly do an overview. But right now, everyone is writing down what their challenges were in the past year, specifically in their external world, whether that's with work, with people, family. And then the second part is we're writing down our internal challenges, which relates to, it can be anything from anxiety, depression, stress, lack of motivation. We'll just take about 1 more minute to write about those. And one of the intentions behind this was to, instead of come up with a New Year's resolution, oh, I'm going to try to make things better, to actually maybe do a little inquiry to see, first of all, where is some of this arising? And is there a different way that I can address things? And maybe out of that, some new intentions will come that are not maybe just in the mind, but there's something deeper in your soul. Okay?
Amy, can I just ask, so as an external challenge could be a sort of illness or something
yes.
It could be,
about, yeah, it could be like a physical challenge for sure.
Yeah.
And then like the internal is kind of like that landscape we have. How are we dealing with different things? You know, I mean, I'm sure all of you have felt your emotional state in the past year has probably been a lot more variable than it has been in the past. I don't know, I would guess, for most people. So once we finish up with that, I have a couple more things I want to talk about before we go into the physical practice, but not too much more. So we talked a little bit earlier before about the relationship between thinking, feeling, and acting, or kind of what I like to say, see, feel, and be. And one of the things that you can notice is that oftentimes we have kind of a feeling about who we are. Like have you ever had this feeling, oh, I don't feel like myself? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't feel, there's kind of this feeling like, oh, this is who I am. This is kind of my state. Now, does that state change a lot? Yes, there is like this kind of, you know, like 1 minute I'm doing some exercise, I'm feeling really pumped up. The next minute I've got someone, you know, running in the door and you're trying to, do you know what I'm saying? There's kind of this like this changing part of us, but there's also this sense like, yeah, this feels like me. So this sense of feeling like me has a word in Sanskrit. It's called svabhav. So sva, S-V-A, and then bhav is B-H-A-V. And sometimes I've used this before. I've used the word bhava, which is kind of this sense of feeling that you have. It's often a source. You can even see, look at, I'm placing my hand on my heart. It's associated with this kind of sense of just a good feeling, right? And this svabhava means basically this essential feeling, your essential nature. So one of the things that we're going to work on cultivating in this practice are particular svabhavs. So when I say that, I mean, you can have this feeling, emotion where you don't feel so good. And sometimes the thing we want to do is find a way to change that. So a svabhav could be, for example, feeling light, feeling strong. They can be really simple things. And when we can evoke these svabhavs, we can actually sometimes change how we're going to react to a different situation. Now, this may sound like a little bit theoretical, mechanical now, but you'll see in the practice and when we do the meditation, how you can start to build them into your system. It's like kind of creating new patterns that you can always return to. And yes, that was the next thing I did. One thing I want to look down here in my notes so I don't forget anything. So if you have any questions, just let me know. 1 second. Yes. Okay. Yes, this is what I wanted to say. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this movement practice where we're going to really start to notice when we do a particular position. How are we feeling? What are we thinking? What are the particular sensations you feel in the pose? And in fact, also notice like how particular movements, some movements have a very similar effect. Like we often talk about heart openers. Anytime you do a back bend where you're opening your chest, there is this effect that has in the body. I mean, I remember one day I was reading, if you put your hands like this on your chest and you lift your chest up, it actually increases the testosterone in your body. Like it's amazing sometimes how that kind of helps you to understand more the connection between the feeling and the sensations, because the movement itself is starting to cause this. A movement in your hand might make your mind think in a different way. So that's one thing we're going to do. Now, in the meditation, what we're going to do is we're going to identify 1 to 3 words, probably 3, that will allow you to most successfully meet the challenges of the past year in a different way. And the words that you'll come up with will ideally be tied to a sensation. And we're going to have 2 levels. First, it's going to be a bit more intellectual. So when you're doing the meditation, oftentimes the idea is you kind of want to get out of the intellect, get out of the thought. But when you do a contemplation, we're using the intellect, we're using our mind, we're being kind of the captain and having it help us get into this space where then we can use the next layer, which is kind of that deeper soul kind of essence that we can listen to. So something will rise. And you'll see when we do the meditation how this is going to work. And then when we actually are able to start to feel these sva-bhavs that we come up, it's going to help us change our actions. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes, yes, no, okay. Okay, so let's begin to notice and feel our bodies. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to be, so it's 7:04. Okay, I think we can, I'm trying to be very aware of time. So everyone come to a comfortable seated position on the mat. I sometimes find like the explanation part that we just did, it's important, but how it really starts to resonate in you is when you actually apply it through practice. So it's more kind of setting the idea there. So once you've come to a comfortable position, and we'll start with our eyes open here. And just everyone take their hands together and just warm them up. Notice, what sensations do you feel? You can even right now, before we go into it, anyone just shout out, what are you feeling? Okay, anything else? Is it smooth? Is it hard? You're gonna get really tired now. It's fatigue? Okay. Relax the hands, turn the palms up. Now what do you feel in your hands? Any sensations?
Tingly.
Cool. Awesome. So that was our start. Now just take your left hand and then just place it kind of right in front of your knee. Then take your hand to the lower part of your back. So you're kind of at the waist, and you're just gonna bend this elbow down, and then you're gonna take the left elbow's kind of bending against the knee, and then you're gonna slowly peel yourself open. So you're opening your right shoulder a bit here. Really keep yourself grounded. And then you can bring the chin down towards the right shoulder. And then close your eyes for a second. And then just notice, where is your mind drawn to? Like, is it drawn to the right hand, the left hand? Just notice that. And then you can take the right arm up to the sky. So stretching that arm nice and high. And then you're going to bring the right arm back down and place it right on top of the left hand. And with the left hand on top of the right hand, you'll come into a little stretch here that you're going to feel in your right shoulder. Release the head down. Notice where you feel the tension in the back of your right shoulder. And then lift the right hand up all the way. And then bring it down in front of the right knee, and we're gonna do the same thing. So just take the left hand, placing it right on, kind of on the waist on the back. And then this hand, kind of the elbow bends as you start to open up the left shoulder here. Breathing into here, drop the chin down towards the left shoulder. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice where you feel an opening in your body. Is there a place you feel a little more space than normal? And then take the left arm up to the sky. And then bring the left hand on top of the right hand, stretching here. And again, make a little note. Are you feeling more stretch in the back shoulder, or are you feeling it maybe in your upper arm? You'll probably feel more tension wherever your tissue or fascial tissue is a little bit tighter. And you can drop the head down here. And then inhale the head back up. And then we're going to quickly come onto our backs. So I'll just bring this down here. Just pausing here for a moment as we go into a few bridge poses so we can actually warm up our spine nicely. But before we do that, just take both knees to your chest and then wrap your arms around your knees and bring your head up. Just squeeze in as much as you can. Notice the quality of your breath. Slowly release the head back down. Place the feet up high. Place the arms up high. And then just shake out the body. Shake out the body. And how does this make you feel? What thoughts are coming? Now we're going to just notice, what are the thoughts? Oh my God, I'm so silly. Or this is kind of fun. Right. And then just place the feet down, place the hands next to the hips. And then you can inhale, hips and arms above your head. And we're going to do this 5 times doing a bridge. Inhale, lifting up. Second time, notice your fingers. Bring the hands down. Lift up. This time, notice your toes. Exhale back down. And then we're going to lift up. This time, notice your shoulders. Exhale back down. And this time, lift up, noticing your belly. Exhale back down. And then this time, just lift up your hips. Roll your arms underneath and grab your hands. Now, in a static position, we're going to do a little body scan too. So let's start with the fingers. Noticing the right fingers touching the left fingers. Let's move to the feet. Move to the toes. Come back to the shoulders. Come back to the belly. And then just notice you have this freedom. Your mind can roam anywhere. And it can also pay attention to things that are not in the body. And then slowly release your arms, letting the back come all the way down. And then we're just going to roll up and down on our back about 3 or 4 times. And then on the 4th time, you can come up to a seated position. And once you're up in a seated position, you're going to take your legs out in front of you, nice and straight. And it's interesting, right? Did you notice your mind can go everywhere? You can focus on gazillions of things. And now we're gonna, what was that? So we're gonna try to stay focusing on our body for now. And this is an interesting practice to do. Notice when you're doing this, every space your hand is touching. So what we're first going to do, I'll just do one. You can watch me take a breath, take a deep inhalation. And holding my breath, I'm going to come down the center, come up all the way, and then I'm going to reach up to the sky. And then I'll exhale back down. And again, keep your awareness. What are your hands touching? Okay, take a deep inhalation, holding the breath. Reach, exhale. Let's do this again. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale. And we're going to do one more. This time, try to hold the breath as long as you can. And then when you have to exhale, you have to exhale. Again, trying to keep your awareness on the hands. What are they touching? Inhale. Exhale. And just place your hands on your thighs for a moment. And just notice your breath now. Only the breath. Now maybe you can notice your heartbeat. Okay, now let's cross our legs comfortably, however you want. They can be crossed like this, or just one on top of the other. And we're going to do a little bit of Kapalabhati to stimulate the body, to stimulate and kind of clear out the chest. Take your fingers. We're going to add, this is a little bit of Kundalini here. So take your hands and just have them touch here, thumbs up. So just start first straight across, and then you're going to lift up till you're about at 60 degrees. Notice, do you have any tension in your shoulders? And if you do, just adjust accordingly. And we're going to go for about 30 seconds. So just begin. Remember, the Kapalabhati is just an inhale and a quick exhale. Begin. Keep focusing on your breath. You might notice some heat building up in the body. Two more breaths. Exhale, release, release the arms down. Notice the heart beating. Notice the breath. Notice how it's kind of slowed down. Notice your mind. Okay, let's do one more round. Remember this one, this is called skull shining breath is another way. This helps clear things out. So let's take our arms out, straight out first. And then take the fingers towards kind of like the base of your hand, thumbs up. And then just lift it up to about, I think that's about 60 degrees. And let's take a deep inhalation. Exhale. Begin. Now you can focus on your belly pumping. You can notice the muscles. You really get a good sense of the physical body doing this. You can focus on the sound. And then exhale, release back down. And just notice any tension, resistance in the shoulders. That's a hard hold sometimes. Okay, and let's take this clearer mind and start moving a little bit more, coming into all fours to start. And just keep your toes here on the ground. Taking a deep inhalation as you lift up to your cat or your cow. Cat. And then cat, pushing down in. We're going to go nice and slow. Inhale. Probably you'll find you can have longer breaths now because you've kind of pumped in all that extra oxygen into the body. Nice and slow, exploring the body, noticing how it feels. And then place the tops of the feet on the ground and then take the left leg out and then just cross it over the right. So kind of like you've got a little cat's tail here. And then you're just going to gently look back at that left foot. Feeling the stretch now on your outer left hip. Now let's concentrate on the breath here. As you inhale, exhale, squeeze into your lower right abdominals. Really trying to isolate this movement. Using Ujjayi to go a little bit deeper. And then come back to center. And before you switch to the other side, just pause. Just notice any difference you feel between both sides. And then we'll take the other leg over. Doing this nice little side stretch here. So again, this stretch is nice on the right side of the body, but the action we're really working is that exhalation as you're squeezing in to your lower left abdominals. Couple more breaths here. And then you can come back to the center. And then place your toes back on the ground. Push yourself back up to your first down dog. And really in down dog, we're just gonna do a little bit of body awareness here. So pay attention to your fingers. Pay attention to your toes. Pay attention to your shoulders. And pay attention to your belly. And as you inhale and exhale, just notice the movement of the belly when you're in this position. And then very slowly, take your right leg up behind you, stretching all the way from your right hand to your right heel. Take a couple deep breaths here. Noticing any sensations in the body of heat. And then inhale, bring that right leg forward, drop your left knee to the ground. Coming into a low lunge, we're just going to move back and forth. And just noticing motion now. Noticing the body in motion. Noticing how your thought is creating this action and your body's following along. And then you can come up to here and lift your back knee. You're still low to the ground. And then you can just place your left hand on the earth and just open up to a little twist here. Just notice, are there any emotions evoked when you do a twist? Maybe, maybe not. And then you're going to bring your right hand into the inside of your right foot. And then slowly, slowly walk that right foot all the way out to the side and back. So you come back into a plank pose here. But it's nice and strong. And notice maybe some shaking. If you need to release your knees down, you can. Notice the effort the body needs. Do any thoughts arise when you're doing this? And then push yourself back up to a down dog. Take a couple deep cleansing breaths out through the mouth here. And then take a couple of deep breaths with the mouth closed. Notice, does that have a different effect on you? And then take your left foot up behind you. Stretching nice and long. And then bring the left knee forwards and drop the right knee. First, come to steadiness. Just experience the body not moving. Maybe noticing your heart beating. And then gently start to do this movement back and forth. Noticing the incredible freedom you have in your body to do something like this. And then you can lift up your back knee. Place the right hand on the ground. And then open up to your twist here. Notice there's a certain amount of force, a certain amount of strength the body has to have. So if you are wanting to cultivate strength in yourself, maybe certain poses will help you to build strength that affect you in other things in your life. And then you can bring your hand down here, start to walk that foot out and bring it back to your plank. And then bring your knees down to the ground. Bend your elbows as you come all the way down to the earth, letting the whole body rest on the floor. Keep the hands next to the chest. Gently place the forehead on the ground. And then the toe tips touch the floor. Push the toes into the ground. Gently push the fingers into the ground. Draw your shoulders back. Bring your navel back. Slowly push yourself up to a cobra. Exhale back down. Now this time, before you come up into a cobra, just imagine you are a cobra, a snake. And so imagine this feeling of coming up. And you're going to come up from the base, like the cobra comes up from the base of the spine. And the last thing that comes up is your head. So your neck's a little bit down. So just watch me for a second as I do this, if you can see. I'm going to inhale. And there we go. You can do it on your own. And then inhale, push yourself back to a child's pose. And what we're going to do is something that's called striking cobra. So you're really going to get into the feeling, the thought is going to evoke in you, and the movement's going to help you experience this. So you're going to take a deep inhalation. You're going to roll forwards. Wait a second. Sorry. Inhale. You're going to come on the floor like this. And up. So you have to kind of put your elbows out. We'll do it again. We'll push back. So elbows come wide. Take a deep inhalation. And then you can push yourself back to a child's pose. Just notice any sensations, any feeling that's invoked in you. Maybe the body's warmer. And then we'll slowly roll up to all fours. And then push yourself all the way up to a standing pose. Taking a couple breaths here. And then walk your feet forwards. And then roll up to standing. Once we're in a standing posture or Tadasana. Oops, I thought I had a tank under, I don't. Okay, so once we're in Tadasana, just notice. We're going to do those kind of areas we started before. So we're actually going to notice your fingertips. What sensations are you feeling in your hands right now? Notice your toes. Notice your shoulders. Notice your navel center. Notice your heart beating. And notice your breath. From here, inhale, take the hands all the way above the head. Exhale, down all the way to the center line. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step back to your down dog again. Roll forward to plank once more. Push back to down dog. Bend your knees. And then hop forwards and hop back. Hop forwards, hop back. Hop forwards, fold over. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now, in yoga, there are kind of, I think it's like 6 classic movements we do. So we do the forward folds, we do the heart openers, we do the twists, we do the binds, we do the balances. And so what we're going to do is just quickly look at all of these and see what does it create in us? What is it making us feel? So for a very simple balance, we're going to use our favorite tree pose. And with tree, you can always use your calf, or you can bring it all the way up into your inner thigh. Just take a moment. You can actually take your hands to the heart. Notice maybe that changes the feeling of it. Inhale the hands up. Notice what movement does. And then open your arms. Feeling how each different stage has a different effect on you. Balance helps us steady our mind. There's an effort that the body has to use to concentrate here. Can't be going off into so many places. And then we'll come back here to our heart center. And slowly bring the leg down. Release your hands. Just shake it out. We'll obviously notice a difference between each leg. And so this time when you go through the stages, just notice how you have a different feeling in each movement that you do. So the first stage, either on your calf or here, oops, you can keep actually your hands down, fingers down. And then you can bring your hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra. Notice your awareness becomes more drawn to your chest, and then you can inhale the hands up, keeping the palms together to start. Maybe feeling a little bit more length. And open the arms wide. Oops. Back to center. Bring the hands to the heart. Knee comes forward and down. And then we just release. From here, we're just going to do about 5 forward folds. So we're going to combine the action of what is the effect of the forward fold, the last one we're going to hold, and what is the difference when we're doing it with movement. So very simply, just lift your arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down to the earth. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold down 5 times. Inhale, lift up, noticing the fingers. Exhale, notice your feet. Inhale, lift up, notice your shoulders. Exhale, fold down, notice your belly. Stay in the forward fold. Concentrate on your breath here. Let this be a moment to empty. Exhale. Couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, slowly inhale up, pushing your feet into the earth, using your legs to lift you all the way up. Nice and strong. And then you can exhale your hands to the side. Pause. Notice the forward fold. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale down your heart center. Step back to a down dog. From here, we're going to roll forwards to plank one more time. We're going to release our knees to the ground. We're going to come all the way back down. onto our bellies. We're going to lift up to cobra. Push back to all fours. And from here, take your left leg back and then take your right foot right under your left thigh. And you're going to lift up here. And actually you can come down onto your elbows to lift even higher. So this is both balance and strength. If it's too hard on your knee, you can actually put a blanket under your knee. Slowly release the knee back down. We'll stay in our elbows. Just pause here. You can maybe wiggle your hips back and forth if that feels good. And then you can straighten your other leg back. Bring the other left foot under the right thigh. You might find a little perspiration happening now, a little warmth. And slowly release back down. Push yourself back, toes on the ground, arms nice and long as you come into another form of a forward fold, but keeping the feet flexed. Head comes to the ground as you release here. Really stretching into the lower and the mid back here. Pausing. Coming back to the breath. And slowly walk yourself all the way up to your knees. And we're going to do just a little camel pose just to get a little more sensation of what it is to have a heart opener. And then we're going to have to kind of round down the physical practice to get to the pranayama and meditation. As time goes by so quickly. So just take your hands to your hips, toes on the ground. Just for a moment, just draw the chin down, looking at your chest. Bring your shoulders back. Feel the fingers touching the low back. Feel the toes on the ground. And just gently go into a little bit of a back bend. We're not going to do a full camel, just a little bit here. Draw the navel center in. If you really want to, you can reach down to your heels. I'm just going to now I'm going to take my hands and put them so my palms are touching my buttocks, and the top of them and my sacrum. And I'm just going to open a little bit in the throat center here as I look up. You might even feel your heart beating in your throat. And slowly draw your chin back forwards. You can come out of this. And just sit gently on your heels for a moment. You notice when you do those, there's like this opening. And then we'll just kind of slide over to our right side. And then take the left foot over. And we'll come into a twist here. Try to see if you can slowly release the left hip down. And then you can take your right elbow around the left knee. And to maybe just give you a little sense of balance first, just take the left hand out, lift up the spine long, and then slowly twist back to behind you. Now, as you inhale, feel the left side of your lung opening. And as you exhale, squeeze into those lower abdominals. Inhaling, exhale. Maybe twisting a little bit deeper. Just notice the sensations. Notice, how is this making you feel? Notice any thoughts arising. Inhale back to center. And then you can just take your hands behind you, lift up that leg, opening them wide, and then switching as gracefully as you can. Spine nice and tall. Wrapping the arm around. I'm going to come to a little bit of a twist here. And again, once you've made your twist, feel this expansion of your right lung as you're inhaling. Turning the head back now to the right shoulder. And use Ujjayi breath. Exhale, squeeze into the lower abdominals. Make this an active pose. The activity is much more internal. Noticing any thoughts passing by. Any feelings, emotions, and the sensations. Above all, the sensations. What does it feel like to be in your body? What does it feel like to be me? And then you can inhale back to center. Just take your legs out in front of you. And we're just going to do, I'd love to just finish the physical practice with a Paschimottanasana, this forward fold, to start to calm our mind down. And then we're going to do a little pranayama and go into our meditation. So just take your arms up nice and long. Just feel this expansion. Just feel how even doing that action kind of lifts you. You're lifting you up. And then you're going to slowly, gracefully release yourself forward, but take your time and let your hands come to the ground first. And don't fold all the way yet. Just let your hands come where they do. Inhale, lengthen the spine a bit. So try to stay, instead of curving right away, try to use your hands to pull the body forwards. Then you can slowly come down. And wherever your hands go, they can maybe go on your shins or your ankles or your feet. We are going to keep using Ujjayi here. As you inhale, exhale, squeeze into those lower abdominals. And you might feel a little bit more release, like you can go into the fold a little bit deeper. Now notice wherever your fingers are. Notice the sense of aliveness in your fingers. Notice your toes, your feet. And you can inhale up through the bottom of your feet, up through your legs to your navel center. Exhale back down from the navel center, out the legs. Just imagine this. Inhaling from the bottom of your feet, taking the prana up the legs to the navel center, back down. This time you're going to inhale up the legs from the navel center all the way up through the heart, through the throat to the third eye center. Exhale through the third eye center back down. Inhale up through the feet, through the navel center, up to the third eye center. Exhale back down. Just notice this pose, this breathing practice has a calming effect on the mind. And then let go of any technique and just rest in the fold. And very slowly, before you move, just imagine the movement. Imagine your hands sliding up your legs. See it, envision it. And then slowly feel it. Let the hands move up the legs like we did before, feeling how they touch the legs. And feel the movement, feel the whole body as you come all the way up slowly to a seated position. The head is going to come up last. And just pause here for a couple breaths. And then from here, we're going to go into our pranayama and meditation practice. So I recommend having either a cushion or something that's going to make you feel really comfortable, because we're going to be sitting. I have to ask you, because we are running late because we started a little bit late. Who has to finish sharply at 8, or can anyone go 10 minutes longer?
Fine.
Is everyone okay with 8? Is 8:10 okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be a sharp 8:10. I just need enough time to do the meditation. Okay, super. So yeah, so get a comfortable position. Now remember, you cool down when you meditate. So if you want a prayer shawl, that's good. I'm just going to light my candles here. So take whatever time you need to get in the most comfortable position possible. Let's see. Because we really to get the best out of this, we need 20 minutes really to get into the meditation. I mean, I could easily do it longer. And we'll do just a little bit of pranayama work. Okay. So if we're all comfortable, we're going to start by just concentrating a bit on our breath. So you notice today, oftentimes in yoga, it's always the breath, which really is the entryway, I can tell you, for meditation. But sometimes it's also interesting to pay attention to all these other things we were talking about, the thoughts, the emotions, the sensations. And the breath is kind of that link between them all. So just start to notice the breath. And if you'd like to close your eyes, feel free to do so. You can just notice the breath as it's coming in your nostrils. Noticing all the subtle sensations. And as you notice the breath as it's coming in your left nostril. As it's entering and as it's coming in and out of your left nostril. And then notice the breath as it's coming in the right nostril. And just take a moment to just acknowledge this moment. Being thankful, grateful for your own presence here. Recognizing what a gift it is to be alive. And seeing how the breath is that gift that helps us to know we're alive. You can continue to watch the breath, watching it as you inhale through the left nostril up to your third eye center, and then exhale down through your right nostril. Inhale back up the right nostril to your third eye center. Exhale out to the left nostril. And continue to follow this pattern of moving up the left nostril, down the right, back and forth. Keeping your awareness more at the third eye center. And as you do this, you might start to notice slight pressure building around the third eye center. You might feel stronger sensations, a sense of lightness, and you might even see more light in the third eye center. And just keep following this breathing pattern so you let the breath coalesce there. Consciousness begins to collect and concentrate in your third eye center. Just continue to keep focusing on the breath there. Now slowly let the awareness of the breath dissolve into the background. And then in the foreground is consciousness itself. It's a knowingness. Just continue to sense into this area, the third eye center. And then from this third eye center, let this sense of light begin to expand. Expand all the way down to your heart. And expand up to the crown of your head. So you can sense all this space is full of light. the center of the heart, all the way up to the crown of the head. Continue to rest in this light. Perhaps you can start to sense certain contentment in this space, certain innate joy of being. Ananda. It's just this bliss of being here. Just continue to rest in this space. And once you feel soaked in this light, and you feel your delight, start to come back to your unique individual self, unique soul. And envision how you want this self to feel 1 year from now. So the next 365 days, what will be the best version of yourself in terms of how it relates to maybe your purpose, sort of work you're doing, your health, your sense of well-being. How do you want to feel in terms of your self-awareness, your spiritual connection, your relationships, and just your overall way of being? As you sort of imagine this, begin to sense what feelings would you have in order to do this? The svabhav, this essential nature. Let these feelings arise. The first part is more like an intellectual thought process. Just drop into your heart center now. Drop into your heart center. And just see what arises. Opening yourself to an internal response. Is it joy, faith, self-acceptance? What three bhavs will lead you to the reflection you came to in 1 year? They will likely trigger not only an emotion, but sensation. Take your time to let them arise. Listen to your soul. And once you feel one of them, or two or three, let yourself bask in these feelings. Let yourself bask in the feelings these words are evoking in you, the sensations in the body, the sensations in your mind. And once you feel really present in them, in that space, I ask you to return to your challenges that you wrote down. Picking one or two. See if you can superimpose this state on those challenges. So with the state that you're now experiencing, can you go back and see those challenges? And see if perhaps they change how you experience them. Notice yourself back in those challenges with this feeling and see how you're going through them and you're able to handle it. You're able to see it through. You're able to elegantly and successfully face these challenges. Now drawing yourself back into that space of light, that space of ananda bliss and consciousness. Offer all of your challenges, these bhavs, these experiences, the thoughts and feelings. Offer it to this fire of consciousness. Let the sense of these individual, unique problems dissolve into consciousness. Offering your ideas, emotions, thoughts, challenges, even sensations to the fire of consciousness. Keeping your focus in the heart center. Begin to breathe into the heart center. Begin to notice this infinite space inside of you, around you. as you. And from that infinite space, re-emerge. Begin to deepen the breath. As you breathe new life, new energy into the space. Let the whole body be filled with this vitality. You can start to become aware of the physical body, the outline of your body. You can start to become aware of the warmth of the body. The warmth of your own breath. Slowly deepen your breath. And then take your right hand on top of your heart and your left hand on top of feeling the physical sensations of warmth, feeling this emotion of contentment. And let thoughts just stay in this place of contentment and peace. Gently rub your hands together to start to create a little bit of friction. And slowly rub your face. Rub around your ears. Warm your hands again and place them on your eyes. Gently warming up the eyes. And bring your hands to your chest. And slowly open up your eyes. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. Thank you, girls. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
What a lovely start.
To the new year. Bon année.
Hope this is all a good
Amy.
start for all of us.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. I'll send out my schedule, but back to Monday and Wednesday online classes and Friday in-house with tea.
This week?
Yes.
Yes. Ooh.
Okay. Thanks, girls. Listen, and if any of you have any questions, just let me know. Let me know if you have any questions about this.
Yeah, we can reflect a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like the spa bobs, if you come up with them, take some time to develop them too, because I have some now when I did this, and you can bring them into your practice too. It's really interesting. So maybe we'll do that a little bit. Because like if you're really angry doing a yoga practice, it doesn't always make yoga better. In fact, you can get more angry because it just gets more embedded in you, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Thank you very much, guys, for
Thank you very much.
experimenting with our experience.
And Emma, let me know.
All
Write
right.
me a text when you are here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I will.
Do any of you have any questions before we head off?
I'm just very
Bye,
happy.
Dr.
Bye.
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 I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Amy.
Katja. Thank you. Okay.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye. Bye.